This chapter will give an overview of systems analysis and design. Learners will understand that systems analysis and design is a problem-solving procedure for examining and improving an information system. Moreover, they will investigate the need of an organization for a new system. The chapter will give an overview of the different phases in the system development life cycle, and learners will understand the importance of each of them. An appropriate case study will be used throughout the chapter to help learners understand each of the concepts explained. What is a system? A system can be broadly defined as an integrated set of elements that accomplishes a defined objective. It may also be defined as an interrelated set of components that are viewed as a whole. The components work together to perform a function or to achieve an objective. The figure illustrates a system where a boundary separates it from its environment. The boundary defines the limits of the system. Inside the boundary is the system and subsystem, to be studied, described, structured, and usually changed. Outside the boundary is the environment, or context, the part of the world to be ignored except for a few important interactions at the boundary between the system and its environment. Thus, a system has components, which are the basic parts or elements that make up the system. A structure, which is the way in which the components are organized. Function is the task, activity, or work that the system performs. And objective is the human goal or purpose that the system serves in carrying out its function. Many systems perform multiple functions and serve several objectives. Examples of a system include an educational system, a computer system, etc. Motivation for systems analysis and design. During systems analysis, it is essential for an analyst to decide the necessary and sufficient data for designing an application. Therefore, systems analysis and design is a problem-solving procedure used by companies to develop and maintain information systems that perform basic business functions. The main goal of this process is to improve employee efficiency by applying software solutions to key business tasks. However, a number of issues have to be addressed before embarking on the process of systems analysis and design. These are problems where undesirable situations that prevent the organization from fully achieving its purpose, goals, and objectives, and that require corrective action. Opportunities, which are chances to improve the organization, even in the absence of specific problems. Directives, that is, the new requirements that are imposed by management, government, or some external influence. Examples are organizational growth, or mergers and acquisitions. A systems development life cycle, SDLC, is a very formal and precise system development methodologies that defines a set of activities, methods, best practices, deliverables, and automated tools that system developers and project managers are to use to develop and maintain information systems and software. The systems development life cycle consists of a series of steps used to manage the phases of development for an information system. It should result in a high-quality system that meets or exceeds customer expectations with the time and cost estimates. It works effectively and efficiently in the current and planned information technology infrastructure and is cheap to maintain and cost-effective to enhance. Systems development life cycle adheres to important phases that are essential for developers, such as planning, analysis, design, and implementation, and these are explained in the next slides. The systems development life cycle consists of a series of steps used to manage the phases of development for an information system. The 4 main phases are described below. The first main phase is the system analysis, whose goal is to determine where the problem is in attempt to fix the system. This step involves breaking down the system in different pieces and drawing diagrams to analyze the situation. Then, we have the design phase. Design functions and operations are described in detail, including screen layouts, business rules, process diagrams, and other documentation. The output of this stage will describe the new system as a collection of modules or subsystems. In the third phase, that is, the implementation and testing phase, new hardware and software are acquired, developed, and tested. The new information system is installed and people are trained to use it. Finally, the maintenance phase is an ongoing phase whereby the system is periodically evaluated and updated as needed. It is the deployment of the system, including changes and enhancements, before the decommissioning or sunset of the system. However, the purpose of viewing system development in this way is to set up a general framework within which system development can proceed. This technique helps to achieve greater control on the computerization project. Systems analysis. Systems analysis is the study of a problem prior to taking some action. It refers to the study of the business area or application, usually leading to the specification of the new system. It is also referred to as the study of an activity or procedure to determine the desired end and the most efficient method of obtaining this end. It analyzes the current situation at a high level and then describes how it works to finally visualize the known problems. The activities involved in this phase are preliminary investigation and detailed investigation. We will elaborate more on the 2 activities involved in the next section. The preliminary investigation involved the following: investigate the present system and identify the functions to be performed. It will identify the objectives of the new system. In general, an information system benefits a business by increasing efficiency, improving effectiveness, or providing a competitive advantage. It will identify problems and suggest a few solutions. Also, identify constraints, that is, the limitations placed on the project, usually relating to time, money, and resources. It will evaluate feasibility to know whether the proposed system promises sufficient benefit to invest the additional resources necessary to establish the user requirements in greater detail. During this process, the development team visits the customer and studies their system. They investigate the need for possible software automation in the given system. By the end of preliminary investigation, the team furnishes a document that holds the different specific recommendations for the candidate system. To conclude the preliminary examination, the systems analyst writes a brief report to management, in which the following are listed: the problem that triggered the initial investigation, the time taken by the investigation, and the persons consulted, the true nature and scope of the problem, the recommended solutions for the problem, and a cost estimate for each solution. Detailed investigation. A detailed investigation is an intensified and careful inquiry about the system's development. If management decides to pursue systems development further, a detailed investigation should begin. The requirements gathering process is intensified and focused specially on software. It helps broad requirements to be translated into detailed requirements, and then the present system is studied to understand its environment, functions, and components. The essential purpose of this phase is to find the need and to define the problem that needs to be solved. The detailed investigation phase consists of two main tasks: information gathering and data analysis. Information gathering. Information gathering is the act of collecting information. These information need to be evaluated, managed, and communicated. The analyst needs to investigate many aspects of the organization, such as the core business, other business, flow of data and information, performance indicators, etc. There are four most commonly used methods of gathering information. Interviews. Each participant should know the objectives of the interview beforehand and prepare for it. Interviews are preferably done last because they involve taking up valuable work time of key employees and managers. One advantage of interviews is that some people may be willing to express orally information that they may not be so keen to put down in writing. Questionnaires is shorter and more highly structured than interviews. It is a useful technique for obtaining the same information from a large group of users. The results can be tabulated and analyzed quickly. Observation requires the systems analyst to go on the work site to watch what is being done there. It is a good way of confirming or correcting information gathered by other techniques. Study of existing documents might help to get sources of information about written statements of procedures, organizational goals, and policies. Data analysis